Hi everyone, it's another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on Tuesday evening, the 11th day of September 2018. Hope you had a good day today. It was another kind of cloudy, uneventful day across the valley today. We're going to spend, of course, some time talking about our local weather, and I wanted to once again get kind of in-depth with Hurricane Florence. A lot of people around here have friends and relatives that live down in the Carolinas, and a lot of people are wondering, will Florence have any impact on us? Apparently, our newsroom phones were quite busy today with calls about this, although we've been talking about it for a couple of days on air and online that we're not expecting any sort of real significant impacts, but we'll get into that in a second. Kind of a cool looking visible satellite today showing our low stratocumulus clouds, kind of looking like pillows out there, pillowy clouds that were around all day today, and it'll be hard to break again tonight and into the day tomorrow. All right, let's start talking a little bit about the hurricane. The Weather Service hoisted hurricane warnings today from the Outer Banks of North Carolina right down through the Myrtle Beach area. And hurricane watches extend down to Charleston and fairly far inland as well. And once you're far enough inland, it becomes tropical storm watches for inland parts of North Carolina and up towards Norfolk and Virginia Beach in Virginia. Wave heights certainly very impressive out here over the open waters where this storm is tracking. There's probably some wave heights upwards of 35 to even 40 feet right near the eye of Hurricane Florence as it continues pushing to the west-northwest. And this is also tracking through some very, very warm water. Where you see this kind of maroon color out here where it's tracking through, we're talking about water temperatures probably on the order of 85 to 88 degrees. It's more like up in here. Just bath water. And with limited amounts of wind shear, there's nothing to stop Florence from at least maintaining its strength, and if not strengthening a little bit as we go through the next 12 to 24 hours. As of the 5 o'clock advisory, Category 4 storm, 140 mile per hour winds near the center, gusts to 165. By the way, it becomes a Cat 5 at 157 miles per hour. It's possible it reaches that strength, but even if it falls just short of that, it doesn't matter. The impacts are going to be the same. As you can see, the official National Hurricane Center forecast does have it reaching 155 at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So it may get close to Category 5 strength. Let me back up to that track. I advanced my graphic and didn't mean to there, so let me find that again and show you where the official track takes it here. Now, the cone of uncertainty is still fairly wide with this across North Carolina and down into northeastern South Carolina. At landfall, our cone here is roughly, let's get out my measuring tool and show you that the cone is roughly, say, about 200 miles wide. Now, the most likely track is still up through central and south central parts of the North Carolina coast, but there's still plenty of wiggle room. We still don't know the true end game with this, and a 50-mile wiggle will make a lot of difference to a lot of lives and property across North Carolina and perhaps extreme northeastern parts of South Carolina as well. Now, you'll notice what happens here is this makes landfall probably as a Category 4 storm. It, of course, weakens over land, but it slows down dramatically. Look how little progress this is going to make from early Friday morning through Saturday afternoon. It might travel 150 miles over the course of 36 hours. That's not very fast. That's moving very, very slowly. Probably just a few miles per hour on the forward motion. And that, of course, is going to lead to the possibility of some catastrophic flooding. The wind radius around the center of the storm, fairly wide right now. The hurricane winds roll out to about 90 miles across as far as the diameter. As this makes landfall then, and again, landfall is probably late in the afternoon and into the evening on Thursday. As this makes landfall, the wind radius here will probably be on the order. Let's see if I can back this up. It's not going to let me do that. But just after landfall, the tropical storm force winds, the radius here is up to 300 miles wide. The hurricane force winds extend about 150 miles wide. So this is going to be a pretty big storm with a lot of far-reaching effects as it comes in. Now, the chances of tropical storm force winds, it's a given that they're going to see tropical storm force winds in places such as Wilmington, Jacksonville, out towards Cape Lookout, and Hatteras as well, even as far inland as Raleigh and Fayetteville. Pretty good chances of tropical storm force winds. The odds of hurricane force winds Still, not as high as you would expect, but these numbers will continue to come up as we continue to become more and more confident of the exact track, but still pretty good odds of seeing some hurricane force winds in this zone right through here. Lower odds as you get down towards Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Storm surge potential is very, very high in the inland bays and inlets across North Carolina. Let me back that up. Where you see those green colors there, as you can see from the legend, we're talking about storm surge potential here of at least 11 feet, perhaps even up to 15 to 17 feet. And over the ocean as well, some pretty impressive storm surge numbers. This is going to be the big threat, the storm surge and the flooding. The wind's a big threat, yes, but the storm surge and the flooding could be a huge deal. This is off the European modeling showing extreme amounts of rain from southeastern North Carolina down through the low country of South Carolina and then banking up against the southern Appalachians. A foot to 2 feet worth of rain can occur in a lot of spots. So this thing, unfortunately, is going to take a weird track. It's going to stall, maybe loop around a little bit, perhaps even meander down towards Hilton Head, Charleston area, before finally getting a kick off to the north eventually. And speaking of that kick to the north, a lot of people, of course, again, have been asking, hey, what kind of impacts can we expect here locally from Florence? After it does maybe some loop-de-loos and some weird tracks down here, it will eventually make a northward turn. It may take all the way until Monday night into Tuesday. But the remnant low from Florence will probably cross the area early next week. It'll be much weakened. It'll be moving at a pretty decent clip. Some fairly routine garden variety showers and storms. Yeah, that's going to be a possibility, particularly, I think, Tuesday, so a week from today. But I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think we're going to see any sort of huge rainfall amounts here locally. Certainly not a repeat of what we had over the weekend or last month. As you can see, our medium range models here all have less than an inch worth of rain through next Tuesday. Now, could we see some additional rains on top of this Tuesday night and Wednesday? That's going to be a possibility, but that's 7.5, 8 days from now. We'll iron out the details on that later on. But the bottom line is I'm not concerned about big impacts here locally. It's going to be a warmer day tomorrow, a more humid day. We'll get into the mid-70s for your Wednesday afternoon. 12 hours and about 36 minutes worth of daylight. And notice our sunrise exactly at 7 a.m. Been a long time since we've had a sunrise that late. It's going to be tough to break the clouds again tomorrow. I think there can be a few more sunny breaks tomorrow, but still the flavor of the day is clouds tomorrow. Showers and storms may crop up as nearby as Pittsburgh, but I think we're dry tomorrow. I think our rain chances increase a little bit as we go into the day on Thursday with a pop-up shower storm, especially in the afternoon on Thursday. I think there's probably some small coverage of pop-up showers and storms Friday as well, but I think the coverage is pretty small. A lot of dry time at the end of the week. It's going to turn muggy. Dew points making their way into the mid-60s tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day you're finally going to start to notice the dew points are coming up, and a muggy stretch of weather taking us all the way into the first half of next week. There is going to be a change beyond that, though. I do think that a cooler, drier air mass will make some inroads during the second half of next week. So we'll get into a more comfortable air mass once we're done with any sort of remnants of Florence. During the second half of next week, we should be back to a more comfortable weather regime here in Northeast Ohio and Western PA. I'll have more updates on Florence this evening on social media and on 21 News tonight at 11. You can count on us for the most accurate forecasts when it comes to our local weather and important national weather stories as well. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here tomorrow evening.